Since 1931, the forest has been a destination for experimentation and understanding our natural world. In the 70s, Dr. Norm Christensen, the founding dean of the Nicholas School of the Environment, and his colleague Bob Peet with UNC Chapel Hill rediscovered 87 permanent sample plots throughout the forest that were established in the 30s by the first director, Dr. Clarence Korstian. When the Duke Forest was established, about 60% of it was either recently abandoned agriculture or agricultural areas that had been abandoned around the time of the Civil War. Dr. Clarence Korstian, with a soil scientist named Dr. Coyle, they collected a vast amount of data on those plots, and they did little experiments within each of those plots. What happens if we prune some of these trees? What happens if we fertilize some of the areas? And really initiated that research legacy of the forest. Peet and Norm Christensen rediscovered these plots and realized that they held the key to the forest's past. There was so much information and data about what the forest had been like in the 1930s and in the decades subsequent to that, that they could take that and begin asking questions with that data of how has the forest changed over time? What are the trajectories of change in the forest? They augmented those 87 permanent sample plots with their own 230 additional plots, and through collecting data in those plots, were able to really establish some ideas about, for example, how forests naturally thin themselves out over time, this so-called self-thinning law that can be applied to forests all over the world.
Eventually, observations derived from study plots contributed to the now well-known ecological concept of old field succession.
Over the years, that's really expanded into forest biology, the ecology of forests, understanding how forests are changing over time. The plots that were established by Korstian, picked up again by Bob Peet and Norm Christensen, have continued to be studied by students in the Christensen and Peet laboratories.
Eventually, he's going to overtop these guys, and these guys are going to fall out of the system.
Our past informs our present, and our present informs what we do with the future.